Okay. Welcome, everybody. I'm very honored to welcome you here in Estonia, land of cold weather but very warm hearts. So before I actually jump into telling you about Estonian experience of networking for innovation, I want to know a little bit about you. I heard yesterday that many people have been to Estonia, but please stand up those people who have been to Estonia. Just little, no, stand up, stretching. Okay. But how many of you have been here outside of the dark or snowy periods? Please, the others can sit. And the last question is, how many of you know anything about the Estonian Rural Network, what they have been doing over the past 15 years? Please stand up. Okay, quite a nice fan club here, so thank you very much. So before I talk about the activities themselves, few facts as a background for this networking work. So Estonia is a relatively small country, 45,000 square kilometers, half of territory is forest, 1/3 is wetlands, and then this rest of this 20% you can consider as land potentially used for agricultural purposes. Population 1.3 million, agricultural holdings, the number of holdings is decreasing every year. I remember the times when we had almost 20,000 agricultural farms in Estonia, now it's 13,000, so approximately 1,000 farms is disappearing every year. And the average size of farm is also relatively big, so almost 90 hectares of 90 hectares. The Center of Estonian Rural Research and Knowledge, a long name, but in short METK, this is the home base for rural networking. Few facts about the organization itself. It's a relatively new organization which was established this year, beginning of this year, by merging two existing organizations and carrying on the functions of Agriculture Research Center and Estonian Crop Research Institution. We are a state-managed research development organization under the Ministry of Regional Affairs and Agriculture. We have over 100 years of experience in plant variety breeding, seed quality testing, and in general field trials. We have 300 people, even more than 300 people by this moment, working in 8 different locations. And we cover a very wide variety of topics in our organization, starting from plant variety breeding itself, biotechnology, plant protection. Also, Estonian Gene Bank for agricultural crops is situating in our organization. Also, plant health, agrochemistry, including the soil science. We are also acting as a soil hub for the EU soil mission. And since 2004, when Estonia joined the EU, we also conduct different monitoring and evaluation activities of our common agricultural policy. And one part, and very significant part of our activities is related to strengthening the acres, and we do it by providing support, innovation support, also advisory support, and in general the networking and knowledge exchange. The locations of our offices are here. We have 2 main offices, one close to Tallinn, Saku, and one in central part of Estonia in Jõgeva, where mostly our research knowledge is where it is. I'm also not going to in details with the institutional structure, but in short you can say that we have divided the responsibilities into 3 different branches, one related to this applied research, core science, then the other related to different laboratory and field testing services, and one which you could call and covers the activities classified as ACES coordination. And this is mostly carried out by the Department of Networks, with its links to CAP network, advisory service, innovation support, service, and knowledge transfer. Our ACAS is described in a Common Agricultural Policy Strategic Plan with the emphasis to facilitate the coherent and united ACAS establishment. And also very much effort and also money is foreseen to be put in strengthening general advisory system and also supporting farmers in a process of innovation. And also several activities are related to better uptake of the ICT solutions by the farmers and the sector in general. And Marko told very nicely that this innovation needs, innovation lies in the cooperation, and innovation also needs this supportive environment to happen. And what our ministry decided was also to give a special attention to this ACAS coordination itself. So basically, these ACAS interventions are now in this yellow box, but the first one is related to this supporting the coordination of the ACAS work itself under the intervention of the CIP. So we have a special measure to actually support this coordination work. So this ACAS center itself, it's not in our organization as a separate structural unit, but it's a cluster of ACAS responsibilities, and it's carried out by this, let's say, in cooperation of the Department of Networks. And the key focus of, or key message of this coordination work is in word trust building. Also, Inge showed the small scheme about this, how the ACAS function and work. Actually, this scheme where you have put the farmer in a center of the information flow and connection flow, etc., it's very simplified. If it comes back to the national or regional level, then we have many more actors, many more different relationships, etc. And to actually maintain this good information flow, you need to put an effort in it. And it's very nice to see that actually this building trust doesn't happen overnight and needs years and years constant work. And that was also one of the reasons why our ministry decided that this coordination work is not just a legal obligation to fulfill by the ministry, but needs a special attention and special work. And that was also one of the reasons why we are sharing this coordination work between the ministry and METK. And very briefly, this work division, you could say that one is more dealing with this, let's say, official obligation, including the reporting obligation, etc., and the other is more managing the schemes and all of these associated related topics on a daily basis, operational level. So procuring things, establishing networks, communicating on a daily basis with different stakeholders, etc., etc. And because we are also at the beginning of this process, we are also struggling to find the borders of these different activities, and we are also building the trust between each other as well. So yes, the main emphasis of our center is really to coordinate different information flows, strengthen the connections with the research and practice, and in general to support the better uptake of the ACAS on the ground. And how do we do it is that actually these these functions of the ACAS centers, this is carried out by, let's say, 4 types of activities which are funded on according to the annual work plan. One of the types of activities are related to this general ACAS development, being the back office of this work, which includes activities starting from mapping the needs, mapping the trends, general stakeholder involvement, cooperation within and outside of Estonia. We are also starting, or we have kicked off the process of preparing the ACAS long-term strategy. And I have to stress it that we are really going far beyond the CIP, because actors on the field, they don't really draw the borders that this is the common agriculture policy and now this is another policy. So in this strategy, we actually want to support the EIKES, which is satisfying all the rural actors in many ways. One of the main focuses of the EIKES Center is also to act as an advisory back office, and I also need to stress here that we are going to support advisors in our CIP, not only these state advisors, but also all types of advisors are eligible in our CAP for special support. And we are also going far beyond just supporting the certified advisors, but anyone who is meeting the criteria to provide useful, important information and knowledge for the farmers is actually entitled for this support. So we are also providing the training courses for the advisors. Also special attention is given to find and teach and train the new advisors, and etc., etc. We also continue with the work of knowledge exchange and transfer. So we have been doing it already for the past 3-4 years regarding implementing the long-term thematic knowledge transfer program. So this work continues, but we will also include new aspects such as EIKES vouchers. We are going to also implement this measure as well. And of course, significant part of our activities are related to digital solutions, and here our paying agencies playing quite a crucial and central role. This work also, especially with providing the advisors e-environment, has kicked off, and it will also continue with preparing the knowledge, let's say, reservoir activity. So what this network of Department of Network is actually doing and how it looks like this everyday work. So again, to repeat it, that it's this Department of Networks, it acts as a EIKES coordination center. The work is divided by, let's say, 3 main pillars. The first pillar is the national rural network itself. In our Estonian context, we continue to use, instead of a national CAP network, we still continue to use the name rural network. We have the separate unit for innovation support service, advisory service, and knowledge transfer service. And although they all have their own specific activities, their work is very, very much interrelated. And these interrelated fields are, of course, the same projects are cross-used by their activities. We are using the same stakeholder database, project examples, the events are jointly organized together, etc., etc. I also wanted to stress that these EIKES Coordination Center, these activities, these are mostly funded by the CIP, but not entirely. So we are also fulfilling the tasks which are needed at the national level. So that's the goal, not to only see it separately, because again, from the farmers' point of view, they don't see the differences where this money comes or knowledge comes from. And again, we have a long history of networking and managing the different platforms. The basic objectives or basic driving force for our network has always been to support the policy making by bringing stakeholders together, disseminating ideas, and etc., etc. And in Estonian context, rural network activities have always been carried out independently from the policy design or control system. So it has always sit somewhere else than the ministry or the paying agency. And the first steps, so we really have more than 15 years of experience in this networking task. It started with the leader movement, but it has grown gradually more close to this, what we know EIKES at the moment. The main activities which our network is dealing are shown in this word cloud. It really covers very classic activities of organizing seminars, preparing publications, etc., and also to some more, let's say, new and novel activities. So here are just some examples. I think one of the crucial tasks which networks have always carried are to really introduce these new concepts on the national basis. So they are the ones who really somehow clarify and define what means social innovation in a local context, or what this rural proofing means, or what this smart villages means. And this is also something where they are active to build these national networks around these concepts. I'm going to skip this part, which is an example of network to innovate, although it's very, very interesting example. We have Konstantin here who will briefly introduce this example a little bit later on. And our novelty of this year network's work was to start with a series of podcasts called Rural Talks, where we really invite people to come to our studio to talk about their experience in a rural life. And last but not least, a very important initiative where our rural network has been active is to organize the Open Farm Day. And this is again exercise which, not exercise, initiative what we've been doing almost 10 years, and it has reached almost a song festival scale, where 300,000 people come together one day in July to visit 300 farms. So this is something which everybody knows nowadays. Yes, I know my time is up, so we have some time in this one-to-one meetings later on as well, so you can come to me. But I have listed here more in details the activities which networks are, both EIKES network and CAP network are working towards the innovation. I wanted to stress one thing of this slide is that I personally find it very, very useful in terms of supporting the innovation, the experience our network has in the international cooperation. And we were the first ones of implementing this transnational cooperation measure, this EIP operational group between Finland and Estonia. And this would have not happened without the strong lobbying of the networks of both sides. And we have also kicked off the synchronizing calls for this period, and we have for this Nordic-Baltic region as well. And I also wanted to stress one thing which is again important is that the digital platform on this online platform to bring this information together. So we have also started the process of preparing a new website, or this EIKES knowledge transfer, let's say, reservoir, and this we really want to be done in a good cooperation with different other platform providers, including EU Farm Book project, where we really want to see this interoperability of different projects to be seen. And last but not least, I wanted to also stress the importance of the EIP support facility, or the CAP network, with whom METK has been cooperating since 2013. Part of network people are part of this support facility itself, and the rest of the network, they are really the multipliers of the products of the support facility itself. So they are very active of translating materials, supporting participants to the focus group seminars, etc., etc. And this cooperation has very well kicked off, and I hope this to be continued also in the future. And that's actually all. I would like for this last part to ask Pacom to come here, because we have a special gift for you as a sign for this nice cooperation. But we have a special shirt for you. You were really you really liked our brand, so we have a special request.
That is a special for the EIP one.
Yes, this is for my book.
now I can go out.
Yes. Okay. So thank you very much. And if you have further questions, then yes, this one-to-one session is, please sign up.